You know, we all think we know the story of Adam and Eve, right? It's one of the oldest stories there is. But what if the whole thing isn't about a fall from grace, but maybe, just maybe, a fall into purpose? Today, we're going to dig into a version of events from our source material that just might reframe everything you thought you knew.
All right, let's just jump right in with the big one. For literally centuries, this moment in the garden has been labeled humanity's original sin. You know, the one mistake that broke everything. But what if we've been looking at it all wrong? What if that so-called sin was actually a totally necessary, even intentional, first step in a much, much bigger plan? That's the wild idea we're exploring today.
So, after leaving the garden, Adam and Eve find themselves in what our source calls a spiritual void. It's like the connection is gone. And in that void, God gives them a command, but, and this is the key, with zero explanation as to why.
Now picture this. For years, not days or weeks, but years, they're performing these sacrifices. They're just going through the motions. The source material really makes it clear this wasn't some quick little test of faith. Nope, it was a long, silent period of just doing what they were told, without any clue what it was all for. They just trusted the command, day in, day out.
And this quote right here, wow, it gets to the absolute heart of it. An angel finally shows up and asks Adam, hey, why are you doing all this? And Adam's response isn't some deep philosophical answer. It's just pure, simple honesty. I don't know, the Lord told me to. That's it. And that simple, humble obedience is the foundation for everything that's about to happen.
So it's this incredible act of trust, this honest admission of, I have no idea what I'm doing, that finally unlocks the next piece of the puzzle. Adam's honesty, after all those years of quiet obedience, basically opens the door for an angel to come in and give him the first real clue.
And the angel introduces this really important word, similitude. Now, this isn't just a symbol, like a stop sign. The source describes it as something way deeper, a tangible emotional reminder. It's a teaching tool that's designed to make you feel the reality of something that hasn't even happened yet.
And boom, here's the first big reveal. The angel tells them that this daily, confusing ritual, it's all connected to something huge in the future. Every single sacrifice they've been making is a similitude, a physical representation of the future sacrifice of the Son of God. It was a way to help them start to grasp the atonement, an event that was still, get this, 4,000 years away.
So here's the thing. Getting a little bit of an answer just creates even bigger questions, right? Adam now knows what his sacrifices represent, but he has no idea why this future sacrifice is even necessary. What's it all for? The mystery, in a way, just got a whole lot deeper.
And right as these deeper questions are bubbling up in Adam's mind, the whole situation escalates. The angel's message, it turns out, was just the opening act. Because now Adam starts to hear the voice of God himself, ready to give him the next piece of the puzzle.
But instead of getting clear answers, Adam gets, well, even more confusing instructions. The Lord introduces two totally new ideas, repent and be baptized. Seriously, try to imagine hearing those words for the very first time. What on earth does it mean to repent? And what is baptism? For Adam, these concepts were completely foreign.
And so, in this incredible moment of boldness, Adam just asks God directly, why? Now, this isn't him being defiant. This is a desperate plea for understanding from a guy who has literally only known obedience. And this one question, it's the pivot point for the entire story.
And the answer he gets is just stunning. It is not at all what you'd expect. God doesn't explain baptism. Instead, he says this, "Behold, I have forgiven thee thy transgression in the Garden of Eden." Just let that sink in. The one thing they thought had ruined everything, the act that cut them off forever, was forgiven, just like that.
And that incredible announcement is the key that unlocks the whole grand revelation. The Lord is basically about to explain that the thing Adam and Eve saw as their greatest failure was in fact the entire point. The fall wasn't a mistake at all.
And here it is, the divine blueprint laid out step by step. The fall, God explains, had to happen. Step 1, so they could have kids and start humanity. Step 2, so they could experience more to life, to taste the bitter, the hard stuff. Which leads to step 3, so they could learn to prize the good, because you can't really appreciate one without the other. And all of that leads to the ultimate goal, step 4, to become agents unto themselves, to get the power to truly choose for themselves. Can you even imagine the impact of this? I mean, think about it. Everything Adam and Eve thought about themselves, their past, their whole relationship with God, is being completely flipped on its head in this one conversation.
The source material puts it so perfectly. The guilt complex Adam had been carrying around for who knows how long just vanishes. The crushing weight of being the guy who made the world's first biggest mistake is just lifted. He hadn't failed the plan, he had actually fulfilled it.
And this slide really shows you that complete 180. Before, he saw himself as an outcast, a renegade, totally cut off. But after, he understands he's a valiant son, a faithful participant in the plan, and he's actually destined to return to God. His entire story was reframed. He went from being a sinner to being a pioneer.
And that kind of brings it all back to us, doesn't it? If humanity's biggest perceived failure was actually a necessary, purposeful first step, well, what does that mean for our own lives? It leaves us with a pretty big question to chew on. Is it possible that our own greatest mistakes, the things we feel the most guilty about, could actually be the most essential steps on our own journey? Something to think about.